We all know the game called Far Cry 3, a game where a couple of tourists get scammed and dragged onto an island where apparently everything is possible. We all know this story, hence I'm going to ask a question about the ending of the game. The real question is this a real choice? Is the ending choice a real choice? By this point, it's been established that Jason is no longer the same person that he was just weeks ago. If he can be considered a person at this rate, he is nothing more than a killing machine that yearns for blood. This island made him spiral into insanity. Just like Willis said, synapses in your brain go dark little by little. It was foreshadowing. Well, not really, because Jason was already mad at that point. It is stated in the game that before they got here onto the island, Jason had no clue what he was doing with his life or who he is. But going through all that made him realize who he is. He finally felt like he had control over his life. All the rules of society were gone and he was free to do whatever he desired on that island. That made him feel powerful. When he first is informed that Riley is dead by Keith inside the cave, he doesn't even grieve or cry or just show sadness in general. He just goes on to say that he will kill Voss and Hoyt. It's almost like he isn't even really processing the news, he's just looking for more people to kill. The question returns, would Jason be sane enough to choose to save his friends? The answer obviously depends on the player, because we are the ones who get to make the choice. But if it was up to Jason and we couldn't make the choice, I'd like to believe that Jason could still realize in the last moment, as he's looking into his once girlfriend's eyes, that he isn't beyond repair. He just needs to grieve. Grieve his vacation, his brother, everyone he ever killed, and most importantly, his past self. This ending shows that there is humanity in him after all. It shows that nothing is ever past repair. If you try hard enough, you can always make a difference. It doesn't matter when, it only matters how. There isn't a clear good or bad ending, but I have my opinions on both of them. The joint Citra ending implies that Jason has lost all sense of his former self and is completely beyond salvation. He has been entirely consumed by the violence and the trauma of this island. Throughout the game, we see a once privileged young man evolved into a hardened killer with seemingly no mercy. There's both physical and psychological changes in him. The game seems to show the effect of power and control, or lack thereof. Both Voss and Hoyt represent what too much power and control can do to a person and how it changes them. At the end of the game, Jason can either reject absolute power by saving his friends and returning home, trying to continue his life, or become the third dictator of the Rook Islands by joining Citra and becoming the absolute power. However, joining Citra makes him end up just like Voss and Hoyt. Even Voss said it. Him and Jason are the same. For the people who don't like this game, I respect your opinion, though I feel like those people are missing out. This is deeper than other Far Cry games. This game isn't just about killing dictators, it's about losing your sense of self and becoming your enemy. At first, Voss was Jason's enemy and his worst fear, but in the end, Jason is Voss. This game is about transformation and what extreme circumstances can do to a person. My opinion is that this is the best and deepest Far Cry game in the franchise. It makes me feel all sorts of emotions. There's funny dialogue to make me laugh, there were moments where I felt scared and where there was a lot of tension, and most of all, it can create a pit in my stomach and make me think about life. It makes me emotional and form actual thoughts and opinions about the characters and about what Jason goes through. I think the story works best as a game because you get immersed and it feels like you are going through it, and you are the one who has to do all the killing and torture. You are the one who has to press the buttons in order to torture Riley Brody. All in all, it is one of my favorite games of all time. Even if I might be blinded by nostalgia, I can't ignore the genius of this game or give it anything less than a 10 out of 10.